Hey everyone, Dave here, welcome to Tag. The xshot Motorized Piston Pump AEB is just around the corner, and one of the comments I received the most is, well, this is just a cheap BK1S reshell because they are the same blaster. Not exactly. I mean, there is a lot of similarities. This BK1S is really not the same blaster as the xshot AEB. Even if they turn on the same way, turn off the same way, they have some pretty hefty difference between the two. But first, let's present the blaster. This is a BK1S. It's a select fire, magazine fed, automatic electric blaster, which basically means it's a select fire, spring powered blaster. It uses its own 12 round magazine, and it is powered by a 3S LiPo. This blaster can be found on many retailers on the internet for around $200 Canadian, including shipping. While the xshot Motorized Piston Pump AEB is basically a magazine-fed, automatic, electric blaster, basically another select fire spring-powered blaster that have a 15 round Talon magazine. Normally I don't care about Talon compatibility, but for this blaster, this is an entry-level blaster on store shelf. When you get to collector's grade or high hobby grade blaster, Talon compatibility is not that important, but on store shelf this is mandatory. And on this thing, xshot even did a better job than Worker on their magazine. The thing is powered by an equivalent 2S lithium-ion battery, a 7.4 volt lithium-ion battery, and this thing is going to be available on store shelf for $100 Canadian without shipping time. So this sounds more like a good deal. But for the difference here, I mean, this blaster will shoot 180 FPS at around 3.5 darts a second on fully automatic. While the BK1S will give you around 180 FPS at more like a 5 darts a second. This is much faster. But is it only due to the battery because one is 2S, the other one is 3S? And not really. There is a tad more difference between those two blasters. Let's get on the table. I am gonna explain. As I was saying, main difference here would be the mag compatibility, because this one is Talon and this one it's its own magazine for the BK1S. And the battery. This is a lithium-ion 2S equivalent, and this is a 3S LiPo. But even with a 3S LiPo, I don't see where this xshot is going to be able to reach the same 5 darts a second that this blaster have, because there's a big reason why this thing is 3.5 darts a second, and it's because of the length of the plunger tube and the length of the stroke. As you can see, from the end to the tip, they are very different. I mean, the mag well is right here and the other one is right there, meaning the plunger tube is a lot longer into the AEB, and the longer stroke is kind of easy to measure on the xshot, because when you go on the BK1S and you prime it back, you got about 50 millimeters of stroke, while on the xshot we got over 80 millimeters of stroke. That means there is 60% difference in stroke in that AEB. It is longer, therefore it will give you equal FPS on a lighter spring, meaning that this xshot Motorized Piston Pump AEB will have more potential for FPS down the road. Maybe we could bring it to maybe 4 darts a second with a 3S LiPo, and even there, this is an SM2P connector. You got many options. We know Qualcomm already put an XT30 in his blaster, but you can probably go on Amazon, get an adapter that change your connectors from SM2P 2XT30, or just grab yourself a 3S LiPo that got an SM2P like this one, an SM2P connector on tip of it, which is gonna bring this blaster more around the 4 dart a second. Since it needs to cycle back way more, we will not be able to reach that 5 dart a second. But again, this blaster is half the price of the BK1S, which is quite a deal for something that will have more potential down the road. Not to mention the barrel swap, because the BK1S uses its own barrel with like a C-clip on it so we can hold it in place, while the xshot got this pretty clever collet on, which is pretty much the best collet I've ever seen on any blaster, which will just allow you to swap your barrel in seconds. Please don't mind the foregrip on the BK1S, because it doesn't come with it, nor the side rail, nor this little hand stop here, but on the xshot it's already there and it's like already at the right place. But from the end to the front, you can see the way different we have in the two plunger tube. I mean, the xshot finish about the same place. That means this one is about this long. And it's pretty much easy to see the difference in length between the two plunger tube. And again, like I said, changing the battery will help, but I'm also checking on some spring option. I'm gonna come back to that in another video, but I got some spring option for this thing, which will allow the blaster to cycle back faster and shoot with pretty much the same FPS due to the larger air volume into that thing. But the difference in the two blaster is not just there. I mean, the plastic on the BK1S pretty much everywhere got this little flex in it, while the xshot is rock hard. There is no other xshot blaster, and for that matter, I don't think there is anything of this level of quality on store shelf. Even the heydays of Nerf and the heydays of Rival didn't have that sturdy of a blaster. Remember, I dropped this one a couple times and it is still perfect. It never had any hiccups, and for that matter, I never unscrewed the jam door on this blaster since I got it, and it got over 1,000 rounds through it. Yes, the BK1S got an advantage because they really have the same FPS. Like the reading are pretty close. The only main difference is really the fire rate between those two. And I gotta say, since we got a longer barrel on the xshot, we got a better accuracy. Plus, let's say you are left-handed, this blaster you're gonna hate because there's only a mag release button on one side, because this xshot got two mag release, one accessible under the trigger and the other one more like a regular mag release, and they are ambidextrous. And over that, this xshot will come with a B-car, it will come with a Talon compatible magazine. I mean, there is a lot of advantage, and the xshot will come at half the price, like I said earlier, of the BK1S. Without you planning shipping, just planning a trip to the store to grab this, and you're gonna be set, because you probably already have a bunch of Talon magazine. While on the BK1S, you're gonna have to plan the purchase of a few of those, because they are not exactly Talon. There would be some modification to do to the blaster. Not saying it's impossible, some people did it, but the blaster will function better. But if you're using those magazines, it says 12, they look very close to 15, but believe me, after 12 rounds it compresses the dart so much it will crush them and play on the reliability of your BK1S. And while xshot having a 15 round magazine, a new geometry for them, which is more of a straight Talon, I gotta repeat myself saying that xshot really nailed the Talon geometry better than Worker. I mean, this magazine is a breeze in everything. I can't just wait for xshot to release those magazines so I can grab more. Those are one of the best Talon options I've seen on the market due to the way it's built, the progressiveness of that spring that never crush dart, even if you fill it to the brim, and it never jam, it brings it at the right place. This is crazy. So, xshot motorized piston pump or BK1S? I will say this: if fire rate is your only concerning factor and you don't care about the proprietary magazine, which you're gonna have to buy a few more when you buy the blaster, the BK1S is probably for you. But it is still a $200 blaster with let's say a lower quality of construction than the xshot. But the xshot AEB with its B car, with the Talon compatibility, with the longer stroke, which will give you more potential down the road for modification, with the possibility of changing the battery and the rear access for the spring, all those quality plus the $100 price tag, the availability on store shelf, I mean, this is a clear winner. xshot really outdone themselves with this blaster. This is truly their best blaster ever. There is nothing on the market with this level of quality on store shelf. Well, I think that's it for this video. In the meantime, you can always follow me on Facebook and Instagram at @ThatOldNerdGuy. Please leave a like and comment, subscribe for more content. Don't forget to hit that bell so notified for my latest video. This was Dave Fatag. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.